How's it going, everyone? Got quite a lot to talk about in this video. PlayStation Plus, after the exodus in September with it losing a lot of games, that is going to be happening again in October, and a lot of notable games will be leaving the service. We saw in September there wasn't really a replenishment in terms of replacing the games that have left the service. October, hopefully there is, because a lot of notable titles are leaving the service once again. And on top of that, bit of an update on Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. It is going to be wild to say that title for the next couple of months leading up to its February release, but we'll talk about it. We got an idea of the length of the game, and it'll be a sizable game. Not as big as Infinite Wealth, of course, but looks like it'll have quite a bit of content. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But right off the top, PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium subscribers, you are once again going to be losing quite a few games come the month of October. So these will all be leaving in the midpoint of October, and they have been added to the last chance to play section on the PlayStation Store in regards to PlayStation Plus Extra. This includes Little Big Planet 3, which is another interesting one. Isn't Little Big Planet 3 a PlayStation published title? So that would be another PlayStation published game that is leaving the service, which is quite a big bummer. Now, that game was done by Sumo Digital, who aren't a PlayStation-owned studio, but still, that's a PlayStation published title, so that's kind of lame, all things considered. Not a first-party game. Again, Sumo Digital isn't owned by Sony, but still, that's a bummer that it's leaving. Gotham Knights, The Evil Within, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Token & Kiwami, R-Type Dimensions, and then a lot of Square Enix titles in regards to Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 11S is leaving, Dragon Quest Builders, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Dragon Quest Heroes, Dragon Quest Heroes 2, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 Explorers Edition. All of those games have been leaving the service, and Square Enix has been pulling a lot of games from their service, including Neo: The World Ends With You recently left, a lot of the older Final Fantasy games have left, and the Star Ocean titles have left as well, and that's a little disappointing given that I have felt that the Square Enix offerings on PlayStation Plus have been some of the value-oriented offerings on Plus this entire service, because those Square Enix games still hold up in price, so those not being available in the service, that is a big blow, and hopefully come October we will have a good replacement. There were the rumblings, and there is the rumor that Spider-Man 2 is going to be added next month. If that is going to be the case, I would imagine that that would be announced at the State of Play that's coming up alongside like DLC, because that's how generally Sony does it. Like with Horizon Forbidden West, they added that game to Plus Extra right ahead of Burning Shores getting added. So that's really the only way I could see Spider-Man 2 getting added, but they already pulled Horizon Forbidden West from Plus. They pulled Horizon Zero Dawn, and rumblings have it that a remaster for that is going to be happening. I would imagine that Days Gone is going to get pulled at some point from PS Plus. I believe Days Gone is still available on PS Plus. And if the rumblings of the remastered version of that are true, that game is definitely going to get pulled as well, because Sony wants you to buy those games for however much money. Hopefully, you know, $10 upgrades. Even then, like $10 upgrades for Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone are kind of wild, but we'll see how all that turns out. Definitely not as big of an exodus as September was. Like, September was a massacre for the PlayStation Plus library, and that's why with the PS Plus Extra catalog update, I was so much more down on it than in recent months, because I had said over and over again, yes, Plucky Squire is great to get a day one title, but you look at the catalog update comparatively to the games leaving the service, PS Plus Extra has gone up in price, and the value proposition has gone down and down and down over the last year. And it's insulting when you raise the price, you pull games from the service, and then the games added to the service don't equate the value of the games leaving the service. Like, that's insulting to an extent, and PlayStation's just gonna get away with it, especially if people keep defending it and not calling it out. But I feel like most of my audience at this point are calling out PlayStation Plus Extra for being pretty terrible as far as its monthly catalog updates. Every now and again, you'll get a month that's pretty decent, like with Crisis Core and Remnant 2, but definitely not enough, given the cost increase as well. Alright, moving on from that, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Look, when RGG was saying that the game that they were going to announce was going to catch people out of left field, I mean, I didn't even know what to expect. I was talking about I wouldn't be surprised if it was Like a Dragon kart racing and stuff like this, but we got a wild one in Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, a game starring Goro Majima, one of the most beloved characters in the entire Like a Dragon and Yakuza franchise, now getting his own standalone game, which I think a lot of people have wanted for a very long time, and it is going to be featuring that beat-em-up style of gameplay that Yakuza was known for in the earlier iterations of the game, you know, pre the Ichiban titles. But The game looks awesome. Being able to use a lot of the weaponry in regards to his pirate form, I think looks absolutely hilarious. I mean, we're getting Yakuza crossed with Assassin's Creed 4. If that's not getting you excited, I don't know what is, and the game looks awesome. Now, what was interesting about this game is the fact that it's priced at $59.99. I am not expecting this game to be at the similar level of scale comparatively to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That is their big title that I imagine will get one of the Like a Dragon mainline games every 3 to 4 years. That is going to be an arduous development cycle, but if we have these bridge the gap style games like with Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, and now Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, perfect. I'm all about that. Whatever keeps the consistent content output going, and if you can create compelling content while reusing assets, because that's what enables RGG to roll out so many games. In 2023, they put out Like a Dragon Ishin and Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, and then January of this year, they put out Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and right back in February of next year, they're putting out another notable title in Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and it was noted that the story of the game is about 1.3 to 1.5 times larger than Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. Now, The Man Who Erased His Name was a smaller scale project. It was not a mainline Like a Dragon game, and it was to bridge the gap into Infinite Wealth. However, that game was still 12 to 14 hours long. If we're talking about 1.3 to 1.5 times that length, a 17-hour or so game for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, obviously extended if you want to do the optional content, that's awesome. I'm all about, like, I think 17 to 20 hours is a perfect length for a lot of games. Yes, you're going to have your JRPGs and your big open world RPGs that are going to extend beyond that. I'm sure Dragon Age Veilguard, Metaphor, Ray Fantasio, and all these games are gonna be north of 40 to 50 hours, maybe well over 40 to 50 hours, but not every game needs to offer that level of content. And yes, it's a $60 game. Maybe the expectation is, oh, I want 40 hours of gameplay. There's gonna be a lot of other games. Dragon Age Veilguard is $60 on PC, $70 on console. That'll give you a lot of content. Metaphor, Ray Fantasio, $70. That'll give you a lot of content. Not every game needs to follow that formula, though, and I'm all about some smaller scale games. That's why I enjoyed Space Marine 2 so much, because it knew what it was, and the campaign was get in, have a lot of fun, and then get out. Not every game should be as short as Space Marine 2, but I think games of all sizes and lengths should be allowed to exist. Astrobot got a decent bit of pushback for being, 12 hours long for a $60 game. But for me, 12 to 15 hours for a game every now and again is perfect, and with Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, I think this is perfect as well, and I think it is something more and more developers should look at, reusing some of the assets and still telling compelling stories within that world. I mean, with Spider-Man, I feel like they did a great job by rolling out Miles Morales, and if they drop Venom next year, I feel like Insomniac is doing a great job with that as well. I'm not saying every studio can afford to drop games yearly. We're not going to get back to the era of the late 2000s, early 2010s, where Naughty Dog was putting out a game every 2 years, where there was a new Assassin's Creed game every year. Those days are probably behind us, but I think there's a happy medium where you can put out these smaller scale games and people will be satisfied with it, and I think with Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, it's going to be exactly that. But that's going to do it for me. Again, a bunch of games are leaving PS Plus Extra and Premium in the month of October. Hopefully this time around we'll get some solid additions as well. And Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, one of my more anticipated games of 2025, looking to be 1.3 to 1.5 times larger than The Man Who Erased His Name. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.